breaking developments taking place in the top court. Remember, the top court is hearing the S.I.R issue. We're given to understand that the Supreme Court has pulled up political parties over the issue. Supreme Court said, and I quote, "Let the state electoral officer inform the state political parties about the order, and they need to be present in court and file status report. We reiterate order of August 14 and say they can apply online and no application by physical form is needed." The Supreme Court hit out at all the political parties, pulled them up. The Supreme Court said political parties are to check 65 lakhs who are not included in draft roll are facilitated or are dead or have voluntarily shifted their residence. So the Supreme Court is dictating the interim order. Let me go across to our legal editor, Harish Nair, joining us with more details. The Supreme Wrap for the political parties coming in from the top court. Harish, take us through what's happened so far.
Yes, that's right, Swati. In fact, big development as far as the Bihar S.I.R Row is concerned. For the first time, the Supreme Court has pulled up the political parties, essentially the opposition parties, in fact, this is after the Election Commission said that apart from creating ruckus outside and in the parliament, they have done precious little to assist the Election Commission of India to implement this S.I.R through their BLAs, because Swati, BLAs are the party's agents only, but till now the Election Commission said they have done precious little to help the Election Commission to implement this S.I.R, and they are only creating ruckus outside. And the Election Commission very significantly said not even a single claim or objection has been submitted by any political party, despite we giving them several opportunities. Rakesh Dwivedi, the senior advocate, said that there are 1.6 lakh BLAs, but they have done nothing. At the same time, 2,40,000 voters have come forward, prompting Supreme Court to say that it seems voters are more conscious than political parties. And for the benefit of our viewers, Swati, let me read out some very pertinent observation. Now the Supreme Court has asked the Bihar Chief Electoral Officer to implement 12 political parties, and they have to file affidavit as to what steps they have taken to help voters. This is very, very big, Swati, because after this Election Commission's allegations that they are merely creating ruckus outside the court and in Parliament, but doing nothing on ground to help the voters. The Supreme Court has sought affidavit from 12 political parties. Representatives of parties be present in the court next date, that is September 8, and file affidavits. Supreme Court asks what role political parties done to help aggrieved submit claim forms. Voters are more conscious than political parties. Why such a distance between voters and political parties' agents? In fact, the Supreme Court said just we are on inaction of political parties now. What are the booth level agents doing then? Why distance between political workers and local people? Justice Suryakant even went on to say, if the political parties were more responsible, discharged their responsibilities, things would have been much better now. Why are political parties silent? So scathing remarks against political parties coming in from the Supreme Court bench, which is examining the validity of the ongoing Bihar special intensive revision of electoral rolls. For the first time after the Election Commission, even Rakesh Dwivedi, the senior advocate for ECI, told that even Ganesh Kumar, the chief election commissioner, in a recent press conference, repeatedly urged for the support, for the cooperation from the political parties, but no, nothing was forthcoming. They just keep creating ruckus outside the outside this court, in the parliament, and outside the state, inside the state. But as far as the groundwork, assisting the election commission in the groundwork for implementing the S.I.R, which is required before every election is concerned, nothing is forthcoming from political parties. So Supreme Court, in a very, very significant order, has directed the CEO of the Bihar state to send notices to 12 political parties and make them parties in the ongoing proceedings before the Supreme Court, and ask them to file affidavit as to what steps they have done to help the aggrieved voters, rather than creating ruckus outside as far as the implementation of S.I.R is concerned, what help they have given to the 65 lakh they called omitted voters to submit their claim forms, what help they have done, because Swati, the Supreme Court from records noted that 2.8 lakh voters have themselves come forward and submitted their claim forms, but 1.6 BLAs have done nothing.
Absolutely. So it's a scathing observation coming in for the role that the political parties have played. ECI accuses the political parties of only creating ruckus. Supreme Court comes down heavily on the political parties, one asking them to be present during the next hearing, two saying, what have you done to ensure that aggrieved voters get some respite, get some relief? What are your BLAs doing? Because remember, Harish, ECI has been saying bulletin after bulletin that it is releasing that the BLAs have not raised any objection.
Yes, that's right, Swati. This is what exactly the senior advocate Rakesh Dwivedi, who was representing the Election Commission of India, told the Supreme Court at the outset. Yes, the political parties are within their rights. It's a democracy to raise objections, to protest against the S.I.R. But at the same time, as far as on the ground, they should be helping, because, Swati, we should remember that booth level agents, in fact, they are the agents of political parties. When they are saying that so many people have been omitted from the electoral rolls, why don't they go to the ground and find out who all have been omitted? Who are the individuals omitted? And Justice Suryakant even went on to ask, can political parties, not individuals, file objections? Election Commission of India said, yes, they can file objections on behalf of political parties also. But then Supreme Court was shocked after Election Commission of India revealed that despite giving repeated opportunities to the political parties, not a single objections have been filed at the behest of any single political party, but only voters have come forward, prompting the Supreme Court to say that this means that voters are more conscious than political parties. This is a big dig at opposition parties taken by the Supreme Court, Swati.
Absolutely. One other observation is about the distance between the BLAs and the voters. The court asks, why is there such distance? Perhaps what the court means is, why are the BLAs not reaching out to the people whose names have been omitted for any reason?
Exactly. The Supreme Court was asking, you are protesting again. In fact, Election Commission of India said they are protesting. Yes, but they are protesting, but with BLAs, 1.6 lakh of them, including of BJP, and there are in fact, Swati, 1.6 lakh BLAs in Bihar who are agents of political parties, who have been mandated, who have been in fact hired, whose duty is to locate, find out who all have been omitted. The inclusion and exclusion can't be done without their consent, and they have a major role to play. So that is why Supreme Court asks, what are the BLAs doing? Why so much distance between political parties, BLAs and the voters? This can't just happen, because BLAs are part and parcel of this ongoing S.I.R process. It is their job to find out who all have been included, who all have been excluded, why such exclusion, and what steps need to be taken to include all these voters into all these people into the electoral roll and help them with all assistance. Political parties must take the initiative, but the political parties, the Supreme Court found, are not assisting the voters enough. Rather than, according to Election Commission, they are just creating a lot of hue and cry, ruckus, as far as the implementation of the S.I.R is concerned.
Right. Harish, now stay on.